Welcome into the Moi Ploy Boys Dynasty Podcast, the greatest podcast that you didn't want or ask for. And now introducing your hosts, Jake the Gluten-Free Harris and Peter Cheater Pigoo Hot Sizzle O'Donnell.
What is up, my homies, and welcome into the Moi Ploy. It's your boy, Jake the Gluten-Free Harris, and you guys are new to this whole shtick. So the Moi Ploy stands for Manager of the Year, MOY. The ploy is to win it. I do this for all of the leagues I am commissioned for. It is it's an award that the players of the league all vote on at the end of the fantasy football regular season. And whoever gets the award basically gets mad bragging rights and a fancy little trophy that I've made them. And it's generally more sought after than even the championship. And it's really fun because it gets super political. People are constantly making their case for Moi the entire year long. And because it's player awarded, it ends up being hilariously political. And the votes are, it's anyways, a lot of fun. But that's not why you came here. We are going to be breaking down some of the pre-draft startup trades for the Fantasyland Dynasty Football League. And in case you somehow stumble upon this video without knowing what Fantasyland Dynasty Football is, it is a YouTube channel that makes very easy to watch and understand content for both casual and hardcore Dynasty players. So the way that we are going to be breaking down these trades that took place before our draft is strictly by value as of this moment in time, because all of these trades just happened right before the draft, and some picks were traded multiple times. So like the pick that ended up being Antonio Gibson was traded like 3 or 4 times. So just because you hate the player that was selected there, try and think of it as the right to choose a player of comparable value, because it may not be the player that may not be the player that person traded for. So however, I will say, if you traded up for a pick and then reached with the pick, you're gonna get flamed pretty darn hard. Now, I tried to do this one other time and I got interrupted by some gunshots going down outside. Hopefully, smoother sailing tonight. We have 30 trades to get through, so I'm just going to do it in like 20-minute increments so that it's digestible. And I'm going to try and do it in a way that is not just me talking and spewing names constantly. So, here are the trades on the screen. All right, stick to the script, make sure I come back and scroll, and we should be okay. All right, the first trade is Captain Kyle Picard and 7 Goat Rings, who's renamed his team to Herpes Heroes, whatever that's about. All right, so Captain Picard, he got the 302, the 502, and the 1502, and that was Cooper Kupp, Chris Godwin, and Nyheim Hines. Goat Rings got the 1107, 206, and 806. That's Najee, Kadarius Toney, and Carson Wentz. As far as overall value, the way I've been doing this is kind of like what can you get as a haul for these players. And for like overall value, it's pretty close to the same, but I will definitely take the side that's going to get the most points. And in my opinion, that is the Cooper Kupp, Chris Godwin side. So I will take that side of the trade all day, every day. Now, the second trade, we'll scroll here as well, was between Sus Crewmate and Tizbomb. Sus Crewmate gets the 106, that's Kyler Murray, the 207, Jalen Hurts, the 807, that's CEH, and a 24 first. Now, Tizbomb gets the 103, that's Herbert, 503, that's Tua Tags, 703, Amon-Ra St. Brown, and a 23 first. So for this one, you've got those 2 elite quarterbacks, CEH and a 24. Then you've got Herbert, Tua, Amon-Ra, and a 23. Tua in a first seems about right. Tua in a first for Jalen seems like a bit of an overpay, but so does Murray in a first for Herbert. So I will take the side of this trade that I think I'm going to take the side of this trade that gets me 2 elite quarterbacks instead of just the one and a kind of a hope and a prayer on Tua. Amon-Ra and CEH aren't super wildly apart in value as of this moment. I understand that CEH's arrow is pointing down and that Amon-Ra's is pointing up, but we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about startup values, as in values as of this exact moment. So I will definitely take the side that gets 2 elite quarterbacks, even though you're delaying your first round pick by a year. The 24 class is looking stacked. I gotta go faster. We have too many trades. All right, the third trade is Jamar from afar and Badake. All right, Jamar gets the 309, that's Travis Etienne, the 709, that's Zeke, a 23 first, and a 23 second. Badake, not Badake, sorry dog. Badake gets Jamar Chase with the 108 and George Pickens with the 805. Now, if you want to trade for Jamar Chase, it's going to cost you something around Travis Etienne, a 23 first and a 24 second. That's not super far off. You may have to even put in a little bit more. So I think that Etienne's got a chance to be worth more than that at the end of this year. He's got a chance to be worth more than 1 first at the end of this year. But again, we're not talking about players. We're talking about value as of this now, as of right now, not necessarily possible trajectories. I do also like, though, that Etienne, his Liz Frank injury does not concern me at all, as there's a lot of scientific evidence showing that people coming back from that injury after 15 months are just as effective and explosive on the return. Now, Pickens for Zeke is kind of the second part of this trade. And it really just depends on, like, as far as who wins that trade, it just depends on what those two do. Pickens could explode, Zeke could die, or Zeke could keep chugging and putting up, 12 to 15 points every week. This trade is really pretty even for me. All right, next. Oh, god damn it, Jamar. Breaking these massive Jamar packages. Yes, that's right. Jamar has a huge package. Breaking these down it's tough. So we're going to do our best. Okay, Jamar gets the 207, the 1810, 303, 6. I wish they put it in order on Sleeper of like, why does it go by 2nd, 18th, 3rd, 6th, 8th? Makes no sense. All right, anyways, the 610, the 810, 23 second, 23 third, 23 fourth. Sus crewmate gets a 2nd, a 3rd, 21st, a 5th, and a 7th. Now, the players involved here are Jamar getting Jalen Hurts, Jordan Love, Jalen Waddle, Antonio Gibson, Dalton Schultz, a 23 second, a 23 third, and a 23 fourth. Sus crewmate, I think he screwed himself on this one, gets Javonte Williams, Travis Etienne, Cade Otton, Aaron Jones, and Zeke. It's pretty difficult to break this trade down, but I'm going to try. Hurts for Williams is pretty even. They both have a lot of question marks, like is Hurts going to keep his job next year, but is Williams going to be in a perennial timeshare? Then you have Waddle for Etienne. Waddle probably edges Etienne out by a bit. Aaron Jones for Gibson. I'll take the Aaron Jones side by slightly larger margin than the Waddle for Etienne side, so we're kind of slightly leaning towards Sus crewmate. And then you've got Schultz for Zeke. I like both, but I would probably lean Zeke just a little bit, as you have to start 2 running backs in this league and just the 1 tight end, and it's not tight end premium, but it's very close. So again, I'm kind of leaning towards Sus crewmate side, but then you get down to the last value being basically the last balancing act of this trade would basically be Cade Otton, which is essentially a 3rd string tight end at this moment in Tampa Bay, for a 23 second, 23 third, and a 23 fourth. I heavily lean Jamar's side on that. Give me Jamar's side by the margin of him getting a 23 second and 3rd for free. I don't even think Cade Otton's worth a 23 fourth. So he basically gets a 2nd, 3rd, and 4th for free. Jamar, you're going to find out, has a knack for balancing these massive and confusing deals in his favor, so watch out. All right, moving on up. How far are we? 9 minutes in. God dang, we're only on the 5th trade. All right, 5th trade. Brian Proctor. At least this one's easy, right? Yeah, this is a simple one. All right. Briar Proctor gets Najee Harris and the CMC. 7 Goat Rings gets sodomized. He gets the 1008, that's David Bell. 705, that's David Montgomery, and a 23 first. Now, if this trade was just Najee for Bell, Monty, and a 23 first, people would still be upset that he didn't pay enough for Najee. However, when you just throw CMC in there for free, pretty sure you should probably consider changing your name to Seven Cock Rings, because you kind of made a dick out of yourself on this one here. All right. Yes, it gets a little lewd here on the Moy Play, all right? That's how we do things around here. I don't got no Patreon people I got to keep around. I don't care if I get demonetized. I got like 2 people that ever watch my videos. All right. The 6th trade. Get that on this screen as well. Again, Goat Rings back at it. Goat Rings gets the 506. That's Garrett Wilson. The 503, that's Tua Tags, and 2 2023 firsts. Tisbomb gets Monty, Dave Montgomery, 102, Josh Allen, and a 23 third. So Garrett Wilson and 2 2023 firsts for Josh Allen is probably about right, which leaves Monty for a third and Tua, and that's it's also kind of decent price. Monty and a third for Tua. It's a pretty tough call, but I think I would take the Josh Allen side only because it's a fairly even trade and you're probably getting the best player in the deal. But it's also an example of a mutually beneficial trade. It's fairly balanced and it fits both teams' winning windows. Goat Rings is going for the productive struggle, gets a young receiver, 2 firsts, and a young QB. And he basically trades away a running back who's about to hit a 2nd contract in Josh Allen and a third. And the third is not necessarily a ton, but it does add. Anyway, the 7th trade. Jamar from afar, making me work with his giant package again. All right, brother. 708 CEH, or sorry, the 708, the 807, that's CEH. 309, that's ETN. The 1303, that's Tyrion Davis Price. The 210, that's Breece Hall. The 903, that's Pat Freiermuth. The 24 second. Now, Suscrewmate, who got screwed a little bit again here, gets the 207, that's Jalen Hurts. 1308, that's Russell Gage. 405, Traylon Burks. 605, that's Mike Evans. And the 908, which is Dallas Goedert. Jamar, you are abso-fucking-lutely killing me with these giant trade packages. Let's break it down. Jalen Hurts for Breece Hall. Honestly, I don't think you could have traded Hurts for the 101 during a 2022 rookie draft. However, people are beginning to realize what A.J. Brown can do for Hurts' production and potentially his long-term job security. You are seeing Hurts' value rise. Now, that said, ETN for Traylon, I don't think you could have traded ETN for the 103 in rookie drafts. It's pretty close to where Traylon Burks was going. That said, running back is a scarcer position, and ETN has a very secure role in his offense. You've got Mike Evans and Dallas Goedert for CEH and Freiermuth. Tough call, but I expect Evans to have a great start to the season. Freiermuth, however, does fit my tight end breakout finder very well, and it would not surprise me at all to see Freiermuth in the top 3 to 5 rounds of next year's startups. So I say it's pretty even there. That leaves Tyrion Davis Price in a 24 second for Russell Gage. That's an easy call there. Give me TDP in a 24 second by a fucking mile. I will definitely take Jamar's side. I'm telling you guys, this dude loves huge packages. And if you get Jamar's giant package, you need to run fast. Yeah, so if Jamar shows you his big package, you need to run the opposite direction. All right. The 8th pick. Nope, the 8th trade. Not pick, trade. 14 minutes. All right, we got a couple more, and then we'll break it down into another video. All right, we have got Captain Kyle Picard and Jamar. Kyle Picard gets the 708, that's Lenny Fournette, and the 210, that's Breece Hall. Jamar gets the 1206, that's Baker Mayfield, 406, that's Joe Mixon, and a 23 first. Brees Hall for Mixon and a first. I will definitely take the Mixon side. However, Lenny for Baker isn't particularly close ever, so you kind of got to break this down into the rookie values, as it's a much more difficult trade to piece together bit by bit. Brees is worth 2 rookie firsts in value at the moment. Lenny is probably worth a 24 first. On the other side, Mixon is worth about 1 point, and Lenny's worth a 24 first to teams that are interested in winning now. He's not worth that to Jamar, probably. And I know he's probably laughing at my evaluation of Lenny's value because we've had some discussions about player value as recently as today. Now, on the other side, though, we've got Mixon, who's worth about 1.5 rookie firsts in value. Maybe a touch more, maybe like 1 2/3. Now, a 23 first, which is also part of this deal, is probably worth about a 23 first in a comparable value. You've got Baker. Oh no, I just lost my spot in my script. Ruh-roh. Where was I? Baker is about a 24 second or less. So essentially, on the side with Brees Hall, you've got 2 2023 firsts and a 2024 first on worth of value on Kyle's side. And on Jamar's side, you've got about 2.5 2023 firsts and a 24 second. Now, a second round pick is not quite worth half of a first. Obviously, depends where they fall. So I will probably take Kyle's Brees side of this trade by a nose. It's very, very close. I should probably stop spending so much time on trades that are super even in value. And god damn it, it's the Zach Dak trade. All right. I'm not even going to bother breaking this one down and listing all the names because everything after the first 4 rounds really just becomes personal value based. Who you reach for, who falls to you, your draft strategy differences if you're going win now versus productive struggle. So I don't think there's really any need to cover everything from the 5th round on. I'm going to take you through the first 4 picks that each team made after the swap, and the fact that Zach gave Dak a 23 first. So Dak gave Zach Mahomes, Fields, Higgins, and Dobbins. And Zach gave Dak Prescott, Russell Wilson, Eckler, Devontae Adams, and a 23 first. Now, I think Prescott and a 23 first for Mahomes is not too bad. But when you break it down to Wilson over Fields, I will definitely take Wilson by a mile over Fields. And then if you're looking at Eckler and Adams, I will take Eckler and Adams over Higgins and Dobbins. Not by much because I love Higgins, T. Higgins, that is. But I happen to really hate Dobbins. I think his best case scenario is basically like the season that Damian Harris just had. He's not involved much in the passing game. He's got a lot of vulturing opportunities on the goal line from backs who are bigger than him in his own backfield and his own quarterback. So, if he gets like 1,200 yards and 10 touchdowns, 13 touchdowns, that's a great season. He'll probably finish as like a very, very high-end RB2, and that's a ceiling. And I'm not super interested in buying an RB2 in the 4th round of a startup. So that's why I'm never drafting Dobbins, and you will never see me trade for Dobbins. So I will definitely take Dak's side, as I prefer everything he got after the 1st round if you go Prescott and a first for Mahomes. Now the 10th trade. All right, this is my first trade. I'm going to try and break this down quickly, and this will be our last trade that we break down. Hopefully it's just 3 videos, and we can get all 30 trades in 3 videos. All right, the 10th trade. Myself, I got the 1002 Kareem Hunt, the 5'11 Jameson Williams, 23 first, and a second 23 first. Dak got the 312, which is Derrick Henry, and the 401, which is Travis Kelce. So again, let's try and balance these by explaining kind of what these players are worth. Kelce is probably worth about a 23 first. Derrick Henry is probably worth about a 23 first. You may disagree, but in a lot of leagues, this is kind of what you have to pay if you want to get these guys off of someone's squad. Dak may have reached on some of those picks, but I've also seen those players go higher. They're very polarizing because of their aging, and it's a dynasty league. So some people are willing to grab them. Some people are, some leagues are just. I've seen Derrick Henry go in like the 5th round. Now later in the season, once the fantasy playoffs start, you're probably going to have to pay more than just a 23 first to get either of these players if they're healthy, because especially if you're playing in a league for cash, because you need points on your roster to win a championship. And the little scoreboard, the fantasy scoreboard, doesn't care if your running back is 28 or if he's 21. All it cares about is if you put more points on the board than the other person. Now, if you win the league in this league, you get your Patreon money back. So Dak seems to really want to get his Patreon money back because he is pushing the chips all in. But bro, Dak, like, what you're doing is basically, it's like you put money in a beggar's cup. They're like, oh, please give us our Patreon money. You put money in the beggar's cup, and then you're going to take it right back out after you beat him like a game of rock, paper, scissors? Bro, like, have a heart. What are you doing? No, I'm just fucking kidding. You better take that fucking cash if you win, because you earned it. And it goes without saying that if I win, I'm taking mine back. I should say, when I win, I'm taking mine back. Now, this trade, I'll definitely take my side, because otherwise I would not have made the trade. You can assume that with all of my trades. The 11th trade we will get into later. I hope you guys enjoyed this. All of my podcasts are presented by the Missouri Aquarium Society. You can find us on YouTube. You can also go to the worst website ever, MissouriAquariumSociety.com. Check us out. Become a member. Yep, that's all I have to say about that. Enjoy the pictures of fish as we bounce, and I'll see you guys in the next one.